You know, I thought Matthew Stafford requesting a trade to the LA Rams 4 years ago. Can you believe it's been 4 years? I thought nothing could make me more upset than that. I thought Matthew Stafford gave up on the team. We can debate that in a different video. My feelings, not yours, doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about that. I just had to bring it up because this guy here is a whole different thing. At least Matthew Stafford went out of the division, stayed in the NFC, just ironically, how the whole thing worked out. That actually was a catalyst to the jumping point. So I guess if I had to look at Matthew Stafford's trade as a good thing, then I would say it helped turn this organization around. I just don't believe in quitting. I don't believe in giving up, and I don't believe in turning your back on anything. I've been wanting to turn my back on the Detroit Lions for a long time, and I have yet to do it. With that being the case, this guy here, I didn't think anything could make me more upset than that, but Ben Johnson going to a division rival makes me, it's infuriating. It's infuriating. And the fact that you played all these games, you lied about unfinished business, you didn't have unfinished business, you just wanted the situation to line up. Everything is starting to make sense about Ben Johnson. Somebody put in the comment section yesterday, remember when Ben Johnson went to the Washington Commanders and he turned around? I'm starting to think I know why now. Why did Ben Johnson really, really wanted Caleb Williams? Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense as to why Ben Johnson did not take. Ben Johnson is a liar. He is a liar. Ben Johnson is a liar. It all makes sense. This is why I can never be credentialed. I don't want to talk to these people. I'm a fan, I'm emotional, and I'm going to keep it a buck. If I want to call Ben Johnson is a liar. Let me tell you why. It all makes sense. But before we do that, let's take a look at Ben Johnson in Chicago and what he had to say to his new team. If this don't get your blood boiling, then nothing will. Let's check it out.
Exactly where we wanted to be.
Woohoo!
It's exactly where we want to be.
All right. Now, notice the key words in there. I'm like Sherlock Holmes, bruh. Notice the key words. This is exactly where we want it to be. Now it all makes sense. Ben Johnson wanted to be a Bear last year, but you know what was stopping him? Matt Eberflus. If you recall, let's go back to last season. There were rumblings that Eberflus, like in the middle of the season, he was going to get fired. We knew that the Carolina Panthers sucked, so the Chicago Bears were going to get the first pick. So what Ben Johnson did but the Chicago Bears wind up turning it around and did just enough to keep Eberflus's job. Now, they traded away Justin Fields, but they kept Matt Eberflus. Had they fired Matt Eberflus, Ben Johnson would have been gone last year. So this was never about unfinished business. This was never about staying with the Detroit Lions. It was about seizing the best the opportunity he wanted. And what he wanted was to go to the Chicago Bears. Now it all makes sense. Now we know, and I don't give a care what y'all got to say in the comment section. We can blame Jared Goff. That's cool. Ben Johnson, the stumble bum, the number one offense and all that stuff. That's cool, bruh. But I'm starting to believe that later in the season, the last third quarter of the season, this guy, once Eberflus got fired, once Thanksgiving came, his mind was on the Chicago Bears game. Now I believe that the stumble bum was to add to his addition to be a Chicago Bears head coach. He never had an in-person interview with the Bears. It's where he wanted to be. But what blocked him last season was Matt Eberflus being retained because they made a push for down the stretch, he did just enough to save his job. I did not think. Now, to the people in the comment section, I want y'all to understand something. When you ask me, what did Ben Johnson do? I'm hearing like people are dumb. Well, this guy did. Listen, Dan Campbell has a coaching tree, and I'm very proud of that. As a Detroit Lions fan, for the first time that I can say that in my memory that a Detroit Lions head coach has a coaching tree. That is awesome to me. But guess what? I don't care. I don't care about Ben Johnson's success. He can fall flat on his face. As a matter of fact, that's what I want to happen. I want it to be DeAndre Swift and brutal. I want him to lose every game possible. I want him to have a top 10 draft pick every single year. I want whatever type of horrible, miserable thing on the football field. I'm not talking about injury. I'm not talking about personal. I'm talking about in this game that we play in between the lines, that they play. I want nothing but failure for him. I am not his friend. I don't know him. He did what for my team? He gave us a number one offense, helped that happen, and that's fantastic. He wasn't the only one to do that either. He had Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, and all of that stuff, right? A stout offensive line, which is something the Chicago Bears do not have. I hope that Ben Johnson never, ever has success in the National Football League. Aaron Glenn, however, I hope you shine, brother. But you, my man, you don't deserve anything when it comes to this. And you know what the funny part is? And I applaud these guys. I understand to a little itty bitty taste of what it's like to get the hatred of like a fan base or the disdain of a fan base. I speak my opinion. I get ripped about it on Twitter. I get ripped about it in the comment section. And I know Ben Johnson was very aware. He probably sat down and had a conversation with his wife and say, you know that I'm going to be enemy number one. I'm going to be top enemy of the state, of the Detroit Lions fans. Can you handle that? He probably had to consider that. I'm sure he did, because he had to know. And this is not about him taking a job. We knew, we were prepared. I, again, think that it was time for the Detroit Lions to move on. You cannot stay inside the division. You just can't do it, right? So for everybody saying, and listen, I've never been one to question anybody's fandom. Everybody has different levels of fans. Some people are super fans. Some people are regular fans. Some people are super checked in. Some people are not. If you watch this channel, you are always checked in. We're always making videos, even when there's no Lions football. So I appreciate you for that. And you are the type of fan that I am. This, to me, is absolutely despicable. This is despicable. It has nothing to do with me being happy. Why should I be happy for him that he stayed in the division? Why, as a fan of the Detroit Lions, should I be happy that our old offensive coordinator is now a rival head coach? It doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever. None, 0%. It doesn't make any sense. Why should I reflect on the thing? I don't understand, y'all. Reflect on the things that he's done for the team. The number one offense, whoop-de-doo. What are we talking about here? I know that that's part of being a fan, but that's part of being a fan. For you, that ain't how my fandom work. It's not. So you could have your feelings, and that's cool. That's cool. That's why I said I can't really question your fandom. Fan is short for the word fanatic. And you know what? Maybe that's what I am. I've never considered myself a fanatic of the football team, but this brother got me feeling some type of way. I don't know him, and he don't know me. But this, to me, is despicable. It is despicable, bruh. And the one thing I can say about Matthew Stafford is you went out of the division. I can say that. The Lions let you pick where you wanted to go, and I'm sure at the time, maybe the Chicago Bears, maybe somebody inside the division, they got a call on. Maybe the Minnesota Vikings. Somebody probably called within the division. I mean, I could really see the Minnesota Vikings having called about Matthew Stafford, because especially with the relationship that we've had with them, trading them TJ Hawkinson, trading with them to trade up and get Jamison Williams, right? They were part of that trade. So I have no, facts about this, but this is why I can never be credentialed. I don't want to be credentialed. I don't want to have to see these people, because I am a fan, bruh. I can't be, I call myself a fanalist. Fan is first. I cannot be credentialed, because credential, you can't be biased. I consider myself non-biased a lot of times, but this right here, this feels personal. Them credential guys can't take nothing personal. I'm going to take it all personal, because that's what, to me, being a fan is. And I applaud those guys. They allow me to do what I do, because I would get kicked out. They'd be like, they would remove my credentials. I wouldn't even be able to be allowed. Another reason I want to be credentialed, because I can't ask the tough questions. I would be the Grant Cohn of Detroit Lions sports. They would hate to see me coming. They would, oh Lord, here comes Derek. He gonna ask me about the pass rush again. I'm telling, I would get Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will give me the same reaction that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch gives what's his name? Grant Cohn. Shout out to Grant Cohn as well. A lot of 49ers fans don't like the man, but I applaud him for what he does. Ben Johnson wanted to leave last year, but he didn't, because the Chicago Bears decided to retain Eberflus. You don't believe me? It's right here.
Everyone get back to work. Listen, thank you so much. My family and I, we are beyond excited. This is exactly where we wanted to be. Woohoo! It's exactly where we want to be.
Oh, I just peeped that he said it twice, too. I just peeped that. He reiterated that it was exactly where he wanted to be. So, I am going to the store, and I'm going to buy me some Don Julio 1942. I'm going to get 2 bottles. I'm going to pop one when the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl, and I'll pop the other one when Ben Johnson gets fired. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a Sharpie and write on some tape, open when Ben Johnson gets fired from the Chicago Bears. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. I want to say thank you for allowing me to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. And much more raw, unfiltered content coming. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I can tell right now it's going to be a very interesting offseason. Is it the season yet? I hope that this is bulletin board material. Man, I wish the season was yesterday.